look at historical financials, you look at the pattern, you look at the budget, and you try and correlate all those pieces. You can do that now instantaneously, right? We talk about empathy a lot, right? And it's understanding that, what we're doing can be complex and it can be daunting for a lot of operators, right? And especially when we're dealing with management teams, right? That maybe they grew up in the restaurant business. They didn't grow up doing finance. So we think about things like, how do we make them comfortable with what we do, and how do we help them, really understand, what we're talking about? So, we do a lot of teaching and coaching internally on basically how to speak in restaurant terms. We hire a bunch of accountants, right? So it's like inherently they're not thinking that way. So, meeting people where they are, I think that's a huge part of hospitality, making them feel comfortable, making them not feel like, oh, this is so big and this is daunting. Like, we talk about that day in and day out. And that's really been a hallmark of, our service.
Talk to me about artificial intelligence.
It's crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy.
How do you explain it to restaurant owners?
Look, it just helps everyone go faster.
Yeah.
Right? It's helping us develop a product faster. So we use it for a lot of coding, new features and whatnot. We use it in analyzing financial statements, all the things that we used to do. Like at one point we had 150 accountants in an office in India, right? And great, but they make mistakes, right? So you're going through, you're looking through a P&L for a restaurant. You're trying to find errors, you're trying to find trends. And it's time consuming and it's mind numbing, and you do that day in, day out, you miss stuff, right? So for us, utilizing AI and training it on exactly what we're looking for, training it on the nuance of that particular restaurant, the trends that we've seen in that restaurant, right? You look at historical financials, you look at the pattern, you look at the budget, and you try and correlate all those pieces. You can do that now instantaneously, right? So we're doing that within the platform. So the insights that you can pull up are super impactful for a restaurant. So we're just going faster. We're more on time. We're more accurate. So it's a huge benefit. And people are worried. Okay, well, yes, it's taking jobs. It's shifting jobs, right? So the example I gave, okay, that 28 location restaurant group, they were going to go out of business, right? You can't sit there and lose $1 million a year and sustain your 28 locations. And think about how many hundreds of people that they employ. Yeah. Right. But by, kind of shifting where they're spending money and saving them that $2.5 million in this particular area, now, we just saved hundreds of jobs.
Yeah.
Okay? So, that's the way that we look at it. Right. So it's AI is really cool. It's really, really cool.
Fit check.
Yeah.
You're fit checking potential clients. Why are you doing it, and how does it help?
So for what we do, right, it requires customer engagement, right? You've got to send us invoices. You've got to be involved in the process to a degree, right? It's not a burden by any means, but if we're going to put the effort into onboarding you, and we're going to put the effort into essentially being your business partner, we want to know that you're sitting at the table, that you're focused on it, you're going to get value out of it, right? So I can't onboard 1 million customers this month, right? So we got to pick and choose. So we don't do demos, we do these fit checks, and that's really what kind of the parallel to other tech companies. And it's a conversation. It's what are you trying to get out of this? Are you thinking strategically about this business? Are you trying to grow? If we sit here and we do a budget for you, are you going to look at it? Are you going to be focused on it? Are you going to help? Are we going to hit the numbers? Because I want to look back and be like, we actually helped this business succeed, help position them for growth. But we're not going to do the work. You got to take the information we're giving you, and you got to do the work, and that's going to be the success story. So, those are the customers that we want. It drives engagement, it drives retention. They understand, they see the value in what we do. They tell their friends. So that's where we're putting the focus.
Amazing. If you guys are watching this, we recently launched a restaurant technology Substack newsletter. You can go to Substack, subscribe to that, but we are sharing all of the greatest things that we're learning here at the restaurant. What's the best place for people to keep in touch or learn more, do a fit check?
Yeah, KitchenSync.us.
Okay.
And it's SYNC.
And I heard rumor on the street is you guys are launching a YouTube channel.
Heard that too. Yeah.
Are you excited about the KitchenSync?
Yeah. It's been unnatural for me to do this, but it's helpful, right?